I think it's an honor for the icon, for the legend, the icon, Dr. Motaung. Well deserved. I'm proud of just the fact of the matter is being honored. He's being honored whilst he's still alive, getting his accolades at the age he's at, being acknowledged for his contribution to society, to community building, to society building, to the contribution to the country. Not only to sports, but generally because now he's also a Dr. Motaung in recent times. So for me, it's more to celebrate him and acknowledge the fact that he's been acknowledged whilst he's still alive. You know, it's so sad sometimes when leaders are acknowledged when they're no more. For me, that's the biggest celebration. That's the biggest happiness, the joy that I've got, is to celebrate him whilst he's still alive and to honor him. And I think I want to thank the sponsors, the partners, Sosan, who have come to the fore. It's been a special time for my father. I think the chairman being honored as a doctor, to be named Dr. Motaung, is special. And I think as his son, it's an honor. And it's a great time for me. Because how do you repay a man who has, given birth to you and also given birth to how many children we're developing, the society is built, his contribution. How do you give back? The only way to say is to say thank you to him and acknowledge him and give him the honors. And I think I want to thank the country, society, and everybody who's been behind him, and everybody's contributed to the journey of his life. And let God bless him and give him many more years to inspire and give hope, you know.
And I'm sure as the football manager of this institution, Kaizer Chiefs Football Club, I'm sure you're also worried that for all the good things that have been coming to the chairman, I mean in 2022, National Order of Ikamanga, today Hall of Famer, the other time
being acknowledged as a doctor, that's the honors I'm talking about to say. Yeah. For me, that's special. So this is special, and I want to thank everybody who's played part to honor him whilst he's still alive. For me, that's great.
Yeah, so like what was in the question was that I'm sure you must be also be disappointed that the team is actually not matching what is happening to the chairman, having gone, with such a long drought without winning anything.
I think if you check the history, if you go back to history now to see why he's acknowledged, he's been through this journey in the past. We've never had a smooth sailing 53 years, success. Success comes with challenges, and I think he's sailed through those challenges, and those are challenges of football. That's why we're in football. If it was smooth sailing forever, you would not be. Maybe you would be saying, "I'm okay." You would not even be still serving. I think these are the challenges that make us strong, that make him strong, that makes him proud. Because you must remember, for every child to put the badge, to wear the jersey, it's a challenge. It's a big and a massive challenge. But it requires a leader who's patient to develop and inspire coaches, players, give people opportunities. It's not a magic. It's not that it's pressing a button to say whoever we sign and the team must perform. It's about planning. It's about replanning. It's about the success of the brand has been there for years because of rebranding, rebuilding, refocusing, changing and facing the challenges. And I think that's what makes him unique because he's been through the mill.
And perhaps speaking of the challenges, having gone through a few coaches over the last 6-7 years, are you going to change approach in terms of identifying a suitable coach that you can back, given that the last two, they lasted very few months in the job, and are you going to change the process, the approach in identifying a coach who can take this club forward?
I think that's why I'm saying challenges of the game. There's issues, various issues here. You appoint a coach with an objective and with a profile to say, this is the journey, with a plan. Unfortunately, football is about results. And today, the generation of today, even the past generation, it's all about results driven. It's all about what you give. It's all about what you bring forward. So it's not a good thing. It's not what we wish. It's not in the culture of us to change coaches in 6 years, 7 years, so many coaches. But it's all about success. It's all about the energy, the drive. And the last coach we had who brought success for it's Stuart Baxter. After that, we brought in our own, which is also our passion, to bring in our own coaches and For 3 years, we gave Chief Steve a chance. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We had to make changes. After that, we brought in coaches. It has not been happening. I mean, Ernst Middendorp was unfortunate to win the league. He lost it with a draw at the end. 1 point at the end of the season. He was on top of the league. Unfortunately, COVID hit us. There were a lot of challenges. You went to the Champions League final. We lost in the final. So, in anybody's face or anybody's mind would be, well, we didn't achieve, we didn't succeed. But we're in the final. And to fight under those conditions of COVID, to get to the final, it's not an easy task. And we fought, we went there. If it's not meant to be, it means there's another journey that we have to regroup, fight to get there again. Now, to regroup and fight, you can't guarantee a coach or a striker or a player or a defender or a goalkeeper that is coming in, we sign him with a big name, he'll succeed. It's a challenge. But it boils down to patience and the plan. Now, with the pressures we're having now, with the mentality of people now, people are not patient. I don't know this culture comes from where. Chiefs supporters have always been patient, but all of a sudden, we have these issues of pressure now. Some of us are patient, some of us have a vision, but the vision can only work if people are together and have sharing the vision, like the chairman was saying about the vision of building Kaizer Chiefs. 53 years later, it's still there. But there were bumps and rides, smooth riding, sometimes things didn't work sometimes. I mean, even in the past, we've had top players who lost, even Dr. Kumalos. There were seasons where we had drought. But we managed to soldier on and build. It's just a cultural change of today's people to bend things and to throw things and fight. We don't know where that comes from. It's a new culture, but I think together, if people can reconnect, we can have a vision and a focus. A vision and a focus is not an overnight success. I don't think it's an overnight success. If you want to build something or rebuild, it's a journey. And sometimes you can have it right, which it's what can work. But unfortunately, at the moment, we're trying combinations. We're trying to bring, even now we are patient enough to say whoever we appoint, a team that we appoint, a technical team, where it might work with the interim coach, with another technical staff. We're on a journey to build, to plan, to replan. We want to cap this problem of chopping and changing of coaches. It's not in our culture. But what do you do when you have supporters doing what we had a plan? That plan to implement takes time. But unfortunately, we can't even give our own people a chance. It happened with Steve, it happened with Melifi now. It's just giving people an opportunity to say, let's grow together, let's build. But unfortunately, football is about results. And people just want instant results. And it's what we have to be patient and guide and deal with. It's in our hands to deal with. And we'll plan. We are planning every day. I mean, the vision is very broad. But it's how that vision is going to be, monitored and built.
And Brabab, so what's the plan now with you having an interim coach? Where do you see yourself going with this, or are you just going with the flow? Do you have timelines?
Having interim coach, remember we brought Coach Calvin with a vision of development. In as much as we brought Coach Melifi as a technical head for development and the first team, the reason that was a plan to stabilize the technical affairs of the team. Coach Kevin was brought in with the youth to head the youth structure and scouting and everything. Now, fortunately, when he's there, this happens, and then we had to bring him in. But he's a qualified coach, he's a qualified head coach. We gave him this responsibility, knowing that as an agreement, we are building a culture, and it's an understanding. If we bring in a coach, he'll be part of the decision making, he'll be part of the journey, because that philosophy that he's doing now, implementing now, and the culture again, follows through the Chiefs culture of what we want to achieve. So, like I say, he might be the head coach with the new technical staff. He might be going back to his position with contribution to the appointment of a new coach. We don't know. The plan is more for us to say, what is the vision of the club? What is the vision going forward? And what is the plan?
He tells us today that he wants to go back. He has no ambitions of being a head coach. He wants to go back because he sees the future of building something.
That's why the future also depends on the success of the first team. If the first team is not, we bring in a Brazilian coach who's got a different philosophy than him, it also drops. So it must follow through. That's why he's the head of youth development, being a caretaker coach. So whoever that you appoint must be part of the philosophy, must be part of the journey to understand how it's going to work. So we can't segregate or say he's the one. But remember, we've got a long-term vision with him. to plan long term. So that's why we're saying he's an interim head coach now, but there's a vision and there's a plan.
It is uncharacteristic of Kaizer Chiefs. Uncharacteristic of Kaizer Chiefs to have such a high turnover of coaches in such a short space of time.
We just spoke about it now. I just explained earlier on, I think, to say it's not been in our culture. It has never been in our supporters' culture. It has never been in our culture to chop and change coaches, even in a season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons. We've always given the coaches a chance, an opportunity to implement the vision and the plan. And I don't know where the culture comes from now of our supporters trying to, zabalaza at the stadium. I think it's a new culture that we don't understand, but it requires patience, it requires understanding and managing. Even those supporters, understanding their questions and their passion and the emotions, what they're going through. The game has changed today. There's betting, there's all these people are emotional. The economy is bad. They depend on certain things. They come to the stadium with hope, to find hope, to enjoy, and find hope to go home happy. When they get disappointed, those emotions starts of what has been happening in the week and whatever. So the culture has changed. Remember, our sports industry is to give hope and joy to our supporters. And that's all. They just want the 3 points. They don't care. 1-0, they are happy. But it's unfortunate, it puts pressure on the very players, it puts pressure on everybody. It's how we're going to manage it and go forward with it. It takes our leadership and our character to manage the process.
To conclude, Box Takes, is there a moment of reflection on management's part to say this high turnover has maybe been because of the decisions that were taken? If you start from when Middendorp finishes second, and then he leaves because second position is not good enough for Chiefs, and the list of everybody else has come, but there's been no change in terms of the fortunes of the team.
I think we've got board sessions, we've got executive sessions, we've got workshops. I think I've never, the past 4 or 5 seasons, I've never had so many workshops in a season, in a month, that we really look. We sit with the board of directors, we sit with technical issues, where we regroup and re-look. Just before the incident of Melifi leaving and Arthur, we had workshops. Even the FIFA breaks, we have workshops with the executive, with discussing even with the board. The Chiefs culture, the Chiefs way. We're trying to grind this thing out to say what is it that in that space we lose 2 games. You lose a league and you lose a cup. Supporters are fighting. Now the vision changes again to say that interim structure or that structure that we wanted to say, let's build for the season, continue, because we just acquired players with the same technical staff and everything. In that space, as a board, as in terms of executives, and even from a technical plan point of view, to say, these are our challenges, we can see they are forthcoming and everything. This happens. Now, a decision has to be taken because people's lives are at risk, security must be at risk. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes a challenging factor for us as management, but we are saying it's part of our job to manage and understand the challenges. It's a big brand, it's a big organization. It's not an overnight decision-making, session where you say, tomorrow we don't want this coach because you lost 2 games, 3 games. No. It's not that way. To build a team, to build success is a process. You can lose. Remember Stuart Baxter when he came, he lost games, and at the end of the season, we won the Nedbank and the league. But to win the Nedbank and the league, when do you win it? You don't win it at the end. You win it fighting the battles, going forward in the season. So, then he won the league, he was a hero. The second season, we lost it being at the end at the same time with 2 points. Now, the second season, we won the top 8, we won the league. Just an example to say, success is not built overnight. Success is not built, but our supporters have, it's not all our supporters, by the way. Our people have a culture now of being emotional and just being irrational. And if they don't like BBK must, and he's their own brother, he's South African. We're trying to give him, when we don't hire South African coaches, it's another challenge. Again, Chiefs doesn't like to, when we do that, we, our own people, are the ones who are saying, before even the man starts the job, is chopped. So we are saying we've got patience to build. We know the challenges and we want to satisfy the supporters and the brand and serve it. But we'll always be planning, looking forward broadly, and
BBK's final question. Is management taking ownership of some of the decisions?
Look, we do, because it's our responsibility. Whatever happens, whether we win, it's our responsibility. Whether we lose, it's our responsibility as management. Whether our supporters have issues, it's our responsibility. We're not going to pass the buck to anybody. Leadership must take responsibility. That's all.